Okay, let's jump right into this explainer about a massive financial gap that has the absolute potential to transform millions of lives. We're looking at the current administration of the Zakat system in Pakistan. It's a system built on these really profound principles of social welfare. But right now, it's operating at just a tiny fraction of what it's actually capable of. 3 trillion rupees. That is the staggering estimated true potential of zakat collectible in Pakistan annually, straight from a 2023 report by the Institute of Policy Studies Islamabad. I want you to just pause and think about the sheer scale of 3 trillion rupees. This isn't just some abstract number on a spreadsheet. We are talking about an enormous amount of capital that could literally be deployed to transform everyday communities and fund comprehensive poverty alleviation. But contrast that incredible potential with this incredibly low figure, 10 billion rupees. That's what the government actually collects right now. It reveals just a jaw-dropping disparity between what is structurally possible and what is practically happening on the ground. So today, we're going to break this all down. We'll look at the massive zakat gap, the 3 main stakeholder challenges, rebuilding trust and awareness, the role of technology, and finally, the private sector solution. Let's start with part 1, the massive zakat gap. We need to see exactly where all these funds are actually flowing, because the money hasn't just disappeared. While the government collects a mere fraction, just over 10 billion, citizens are actually paying an estimated 600 to 800 billion rupees privately. Think about that for a second. People are paying, but they are completely bypassing the official system due to a deep-seated trust deficit. They just much rather handle their charitable obligations privately to make absolutely sure the funds directly reach the people who truly need it in their own neighborhoods. To understand exactly why citizens are opting out of the official channels, we move to part 2, 3 stakeholder challenges. The entire zakat ecosystem is built around these 3 pillars. You have the muzaki, who pays the funds, the mustahiq, who receives them, and the amalin, the government department acting as the collecting agent and regulator. And right now, every single one of these stakeholders is facing some severe bottlenecks. Let's look at the muzaki first. For the zakat payer, engaging with the government system is, well, it's full of friction. First off, you've got these inexact automatic bank deductions. The system deducts the zakat on the 1st of Ramadan based on your outstanding balances in profit-bearing savings accounts. But here's the catch. It doesn't accurately club together other zakatable items, and it doesn't allow you to adjust for your debts. It feels almost accidental. Like if you just forget to file an exemption affidavit, boom, it's gone. And more importantly, since a majority of people in Pakistan don't file income tax returns, they're terrified that utilizing official zakat channels will expose their unreported wealth to income tax. So, out of fear of taxation, they evade the system entirely and just pay their zakat privately. Meanwhile, what is the experience like for the mustahiq, the beneficiary? Currently, they often receive what's known as the Gazara allowance. And frankly, this is a paltry, insignificant stipend of just 1,000 to 2,000 rupees a month per family. An amount this small only really affords short-term consumption for a few days? It completely fails to provide true socioeconomic mobility or lift individuals out of poverty in any meaningful way. And finally, we have the amalin, the government itself. The administration seriously struggles with a profound lack of capacity to actually engage in thorough assessment and collection. Plus, they face the incredibly heavy burden of bridging juristic differences across various Islamic schools of thought and sects. These complexities have created such massive roadblocks that over time, the administration of zakat has naturally just drifted away from the government and right into the private sphere. So the million-dollar question, or I guess the 3 trillion rupee question, is how do we begin to repair this broken system and bring people back into a unified, effective structure? That brings us to part 3, rebuilding trust and awareness. Rebuilding the public's confidence is step number 1, and it requires radical transparency. The system needs periodic reporting across multiple mediums. People need to know where programs are running and how funds are being allocated. And this absolutely must be paired with independent auditing to prove the money is doing what it's actually supposed to do. Furthermore, at the district level, the government needs to actively engage community and religious leaders. Bringing trusted local figures to the table is just essential to enhance public confidence. But trust isn't the only issue here. We also have to combat a widespread lack of awareness. A huge majority of people simply don't know the nuanced zakat rules regarding real estate, financial assets, receivables, and debts. To fix this, the source highlights the need for big public broadcast media campaigns, awareness seminars, and utilizing mosque sermons. Even setting up a dedicated hotline and ensuring a scholar is available at the district office can directly help the community navigate these really complex asset assessments. And to make all of this work, we need a major policy shift. To really incentivize public giving through official channels, Pakistan needs to rethink its tax laws. Right now, you can only deduct zakat as an expense to reduce your overall taxable income. But the analysis suggests adopting the Malaysian model instead. In Malaysia, paying zakat directly adjusts your final tax liability. If Pakistan offered taxpayers a direct credit against the tax they owe for paying zakat to the government, well, it completely changes the financial incentive for the Mazaki. It's a real game changer. Beyond rebuilding trust through transparency and shifting tax policy, we have to look at part 4, the role of technology in modernizing collection and distribution. Because let's face it, giving needs to be seamless. By capitalizing on impulsive and seasonal charitable giving, tech can drastically increase collection. I mean, ATMs shouldn't just be tools to withdraw funds. They should actively mobilize charitable giving from regular users. Furthermore, banks that offer reward points could easily create programs where users redeem those points directly for the provision of social services. We really have to integrate giving into our everyday digital financial behaviors. And on the back end, establishing a centralized database is absolutely vital. Right now, there is so much overlap across several government-run programs. By centralizing that data, institutions can instantly cross-check applicant records. This creates a really clear workflow that prevents duplicate costs and roots out systemic abuse and fraud. If a centralized database shows someone is sharing false records in one program, they can be automatically barred from exploiting others. It ensures the funds only go to those who truly need them. Ultimately, though, the government doesn't have to carry this immense administrative burden entirely on its own shoulders. Let's look at part 5, the private sector solution. The private sector is actually already getting this right. Akuwat is cited here as a shining example. It proves that private welfare organizations can bridge that trust deficit and operate with massive operational efficiency and competency. They are providing social finance intermediation on a really grand scale. So, how can the state harness this? Once again, looking to Malaysia's successful blueprint, the government can integrate these private entities by certifying them as registered zakat collecting agents. They can be empowered to collect and disperse a significant portion of funds themselves. And the genius here is the incentive. Citizens only get that coveted direct tax credit if they pay to the government or to these officially certified private agents. It perfectly leverages the efficiency of the private sector without the government having to act as a competitor. When you look at all these highly actionable solutions laid out, from tax policy shifts to centralized databases and private sector integration, it leaves us with one incredibly profound and urgent question to consider. With an estimated 3 trillion rupees on the line, can a modernized zakat system finally eradicate poverty? The roadmap is right there, the potential is vast, and the impact could completely alter the socioeconomic fabric of the nation. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I hope this really helped clarify the incredible mechanics behind this topic. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.